ladies and gentlemen, based on my analysis on what I see on the YouTube channels, and actually what I see across social media, and probably at some point how I engage the public or the grassroots, I feel strongly that there are two contenders within the opposition. And these are Dr. Matiang'i and of course Rigathi Gachagua. Now, the two people are above the rest. Now, Rigathi Gachagua has numbers. He's a mobilizer, he's a campaigner, and he understands the Kenyan politics. Being also a political scientist, he's good in that.
Mnajua chama changu kinaitwa DCP, si mnajua? Mnajua alama yake ya kusikiza nini? Nikisema DCP mnasema sikiza ground. DCP. Sasa ground ya Changamwe inasema nini? Ati Changamwe mnasemaje? Ati Changamwe mnasemaje? Changamwe mnasemaje? Harambe! Wewe William Ruto, wewe Kasongo, wewe Kaongo, wewe muongo, wewe mtu ya kutenga, wewe mtu ya kubeba Wakenya wafala, wewe umeharibu uchumi, wewe unataka kuuza poti ya Mombasa. Kasongo aende asiende? Kasongo aende asiende?
He has also won an election for someone, that's William Ruto. So he understands the game of winning. A very good attribute towards this gentleman. So ladies and gentlemen, Rigathi Gachagua cannot be ruled out. Another thing, the numbers he has can command a good starting base. So therefore, he's one of the best candidates within the opposition. We have to agree that. We have seen him move across the country, and whatever we are seeing, it's becoming a vibe for everybody. Both the youths and the older generations.
Keep off family matters. Usiingilie familia. Wewe umeharibu Kenya. Umeiba kila kitu. Umepiganisha kila mtu. Sasa unataka kuingilia mambo ya familia. Makazi wakae pamoja, asikae pamoja. Makuzo wakae pamoja, asikae pamoja. Watembee pamoja, asitembee. Hi cousins. Hi cousins. Hi cousins. Hi Makuzo. Hi cousins.
So therefore, Rigathi Gachagua is not a man to underrate. And I feel strongly that he can be a good performer if he's given that chance. One challenge he has is the issue to do with track record. When people try to track what he has done and what he has done before, we can't see anything, can't trace. And that is one of the problems we have when it comes to him. But I feel strongly that people can see qualities of performance. But I wish the people of Madera can come out and say what he did during his time. Because there is where he had a good chance to show his ability to perform. Just like we are seeing Ndindi Nyoro did his part. But personally, I'll go to Madera, engage the people there, do some good videos, and learn who is Rigathi Gachagua. That one, I'm going to do it. Now, the only thing that can stop Rigathi Gachagua is the courts. The courts, if they rule against him, that is it. If they rule in his support, Rigathi Gachagua is free to run for the presidency. The second person, it is Matiang'i. Sorry, Matiang'i. Despite coming from a small community, Matiang'i attracts support across the country.
I know my former boss has told me that if you leave an organization and people do not miss you, or no one misses anything you are doing, it means you ought not to have been there in the first place anyway, because you never made an impact. So I go around telling public servants, okay, if you can do nothing, at least plant even trees so that when you are gone, someone might say, these trees were planted here when so-and-so was the minister.
This is not because that of any other thing. First, it is presentation, his character, and most importantly, his track record. That is what people want in William Ruto's government that is not there. So if he comes on board, most people across the country will be able to vote for him. So he attracts numbers. Thirdly, this gentleman has finance. As we speak today, he's in the US sourcing for finance. He has also friends like Uhuru Kenyatta and many other kingpins, many other leaders from Mount Kenya, let me say billionaires from Mount Kenya, who are going to support his bid. Uhuru Kenyatta can as well help him and connect him with some one or two people who can be able to source finance for him. We have seen him actually contact a lobbying firm from Canada, which is actually good at lobbying funds for him. For politicians across the world. So therefore, I feel strong that Matiang'i is also prepared on that. So the most important thing about him is the track record. So probably William Ruto does not open cases for him. Still, Dr. Matiang'i is the best also, it's also among the best within the opposition to go for the presidency. Now, I've done about Martha Karua, and I told you guys that Martha Karua, she had tried before, she did not even bring an MCA. So that means very well Martha Karua has been tried and she did not make it. And I realize at this point they are stoned down, probably is preparing for other positions within the next government of the opposition. When I go to Kalonzo Musyoka, that is the reason as why I'm doing this video here today. I want to show you clearly why I feel Kalonzo Musyoka he cannot run for presidency in 2027, and that the best option he has. But before I do so, if this is the first time you're watching my videos, kindly make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel, ladies and gentlemen. My number is always here for those who want to support the channel. That is my number. Feel free to support anytime. That's the M-Pesa number. For those who want to engage me in one or two ways, please feel free on WhatsApp or even texting to enlighten me further on politics and educate me, because the analysis I do here is based on what I read on my comment section, what people who call me share with me, and of course what I personally know. So when you call me, you advance my knowledge. Thank you so much for subscribing. Let me dive into the topic today. Now, one of the reasons as to why I'm saying that Kalonzo Musyoka cannot be an option in 2027, it's because the attraction that is making across the country in terms of numbers. Kalonzo Musyoka, yes, can be supported by Ukambani. I don't have a problem with that. But the fact remains that when you look at across the country, people are not really talking about Kalonzo Musyoka the way they're doing with Gachagua and of course Matiang'i. So the fact remains that Kalonzo Musyoka, there's a problem he has with the numbers. He can be fronted, supported, but it does not attract numbers across the country. And that is a big challenge. Because one mistake that cannot be made by opposition is to support someone that will not be considered to replace William Ruto. That's the biggest problem that they can have if they decide to choose someone who is not accepted by the people. Number two, it is character. As we speak today, trust for Kalonzo, it's not there. Right now, people are talking of Kalonzo not going to run for presidency, and the fact that he also might be bought by William Ruto. So people are saying Kalonzo is at the middle. Despite that, he's also, Rigathi Gachagua is trying to make him maybe rejuvenate his political strength. And the fact remains that Kalonzo Musyoka seems not to be sure on what he's doing. And everyone can be able to see that. Then you can see his aggressiveness. So people are always mixed with his reactions. Like people are saying he's probably going to go for presidency or not. So that trust with Kenyans, it is actually a big challenge. Even if he comes out today, people believe he does not have the zeal for him to go forward and be able to challenge President William Ruto. Also, people feel that within the opposition, Kalonzo Musyoka is likely to join William Ruto. People have even done analysis across, if you check. People are saying that Kalonzo will benefit more with William Ruto than being with Gachagua. So the fact is very clear. People are saying like, if Kalonzo Musyoka runs today for presidency, and then maybe he supports Matiang'i, let me say so, maybe Gachagua. Gachagua is a fresh person, will go for 2 terms, or Matiang'i for 2 terms. But if he supports William Ruto, it is 1 term. So where is he going to benefit more? So the fact remains that Kalonzo Musyoka is seen as a potential person to join President William Ruto. But of course, I'm not saying he will join. I wish he remains in the opposition to the end. Because actually the analysis I'm doing here is best when he's in opposition. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have the issue to do with finance. As we speak today, the favorite of Uhuru Kenyatta, who is the source of finance, it is Dr. King of Fred Matiang'i. So the fact is that Kalonzo Musyoka does not get the favor of Uhuru Kenyatta, who can be able to fund the campaigns, together with the Mount Kenya people, especially the billionaires. So the fact is that Kalonzo Musyoka, lacking finances, cannot be supported fully, be given numbers, be given finances. That cannot work. It cannot work. So, ladies and gentlemen, another thing I want to say about here is the issue to do with the intention. People are seeing Kalonzo Musyoka as a potential political businessman. So I don't know what you think, but let me see on the comment section whether is he intending to benefit the way he did in 2007. Probably you'll tell me in the comment section. Ladies and gentlemen, the other thing is the issue to do with track record. As we speak today, there's no single project that can be pointed to Kalonzo Musyoka that when he was in power, he did something. And in fact, track record is one of the things that can be able to bring down Kalonzo Musyoka significantly. Imagine, even the road heading to his home at Sekuru, it is dust all over. So Kalonzo Musyoka must sit down and probably think. Because lacking even a road going to his home that he could not construct during his time as a vice president of this country, that shows his level of competency is quite low. So therefore, having maybe worked as a vice president and not able to deliver even a road to his region, it's a big challenge. If you also look at the entire Ukambani region, there's no single project you can say when Kalonzo Musyoka was here, at least even fixed the issue to do with water. Water is a big issue in that region. And right now, I think it's Uhuru Kenyatta who is even tried actually to establish what we call a dam, that Tuake Dam, I think, which was supposed to supply water within that region. I don't know why the dam is complete, but the fact is some tremendous efforts had been made on that side. And I believe so far it's almost complete if William Ruto was fair enough to finish the project. So Kalonzo Musyoka, when it comes to the project, to the issue to do with track record, is quite down. That one is going to kick him out completely. Now, another thing I want to talk about here is the campaign. Kalonzo Musyoka is not a campaign machine. When Rigathi Gachagua is speaking and then Kalonzo Musyoka, you can feel the big gap between the two. So you can realize that it doesn't have that vibe. Of course, it might not be in Matiang'i's side, but Matiang'i's silence actually speaks more volumes than even when he speaks. So the fact remains that Kalonzo Musyoka has an issue with campaigning. So you can realize that between Kalonzo Musyoka and Gachagua, there's a big problem. There's a big difference when it comes to campaigning. So therefore, we have to be really active on that and see that there's a difference. Kibaki was a bit calm, but this guy, despite being calm and never used to speak, you could see a politician in him. You could hear him speak like a politician. So Kalonzo Musyoka doesn't have that. Now let me go to the next part, the next aspect, that is now the strategy. When you look at Kalonzo across, right now their movement within the country, going the coast, that is Rigathi Gachagua's making. And we know it is Rigathi Gachagua making the moves. The Kalonzo Musyoka is even surprised. Why am I saying it is Rigathi Gachagua? They have been, for 2 years, they have been working in opposition. They have not been doing this until Rigathi Gachagua came in. So Rigathi Gachagua is the difference. Kalonzo Musyoka was always on the media briefings, press conferences, and quote, and reactions towards the government actions. That was a big issue, and people asking, why are you not moving across the country? At least now you've seen him go to Mombasa, go to Kilifi, something that had not happened before. Now, also we can talk of now, if all these aspects are bringing down Kalonzo Musyoka, what is the option that Kalonzo Musyoka has in 2027? Now, what I want to say is this. Kalonzo Musyoka can be the Raila of 2002. Wake up in the morning, charge himself, do his campaigns across, and then come at some point and say someone tosha. Either Rigathi Gachagua tosha, or even Matiang'i tosha. Whoever the opposition is going to front as the presidential candidate. When he does that, Kalonzo Musyoka is going to pull crowds, make his name, and be able to make someone a president who can change this country. Because from William Ruto to Matiang'i or to Gachagua, it's a big difference. So therefore, Kalonzo Musyoka, if he wants to be part and parcel of the better history of this country, let him say someone tosha. If he says so, I feel strongly that he is going to make his name as the former vice president of the country, and probably that is going to make the opposition strong and stronger. So that decision will ensure that at least Kalonzo Musyoka has brought a new leader and a leader of change. But now, we also have, Kalonzo has an option of running. He's at liberty to decide that I want to run for presidency. Now, if he runs for presidency, he has to ensure one thing here. He has Uhuru Kenyatta backing him fully and the entire opposition. Why? These people will fix most of the problems that is bringing on board. That is of track record, Matiang'i will come in and fix it. When we talk about the issue to do with, for instance, a bid to campaign, it is Gachagua. When we talk about the issue to do with finance, Uhuru Kenyatta will be able to fix that. So that is only possible if the entire opposition agree on him. But if the entire opposition decide for Kalonzo Musyoka to be the presidential candidate, but if they want to conduct statistics, ask the people across the country, then the choice will remain for two people, Rigathi Gachagua and of course, Dr. Kengo Fred Matiang'i. And I don't mean one of them should be the running mate for the other. No, running mate, there's no one can be a running mate for the other there. I feel strongly that those two people cannot be running mate. They have to fix, with the running mate, they'll use the running mate position to fix the thing that they're lacking within the opposition. So I feel strongly that they should not go for a running mate within the opposition. Excuse me. A running mate should come from, of course, somewhere, but to fix a problem that is in opposition, the gap that is in opposition. Now, also let me proceed. If he decides to run, also, apart from just, if he does not have the backing of Uhuru Kenyatta, Rigathi Gachagua, Matiang'i, and the entire opposition, then the fact remains that it's a project of Ruto to divide the votes of the opposition. So if he runs without the support of these others, in the name that he does not want to be second to any, or he does not want to say someone tosha, the fact remains that Kalonzo Musyoka has been bought, and that means he'll be able to run to basically divide the votes and confuse the opposition, or wait for a rerun, so that when a rerun comes, he's bought now well, so that he decides to go to William Ruto or decides to join Rigathi Gachagua and his team and Matiang'i. So I don't know what is your take, but on that, I feel strongly that is the only thing that can happen. Now, ladies and gentlemen, performance in 2027 is key. And that is why the opposition has to be very, very, very keen on whom they're going to front as a presidential candidate come 2027. I don't know what's your take. That's just my opinion based on the research I've done. Please go slow and share with me on what you think and give your contrary opinion on that. See you next time.